shit, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 111. 111? What the fuck? Oh my god, we have such good news for you guys this week. On top of our very faithful, very devoted sponsor and hosts here, our host area and studio here at Vancouver Real Podcast Studios, we also have a new sponsor on board. Oh my god. Michael Saavedra, will you please do the honors of letting everyone know who our new sponsor is this week on film camera, right here. This one right here.
Well, if you look, we have a nice growler and some nice glassware from Off the Rail Brewing,
Ding.
who are in East Vancouver. When you're down in East Van, please check them out. They make a number of fine craft beers.
Yep.
We're happy to have them give us a nice taste for us and our guests every week. Today we are drinking their fine Checkmate Pilsner.
Checkmate Pilsner. I gotta tell you, this is pretty damn tasty. I enjoy it, which is
They make
great.
damn tasty beer.
It'd be awful if we had someone sponsor us and we didn't like them, because this is actually awesome.
Just sits full on the table the whole time.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah, no, it's actually like super delicious, which is great. And then actually, Saavedra knows more about beer, craft beer, lagers, whatever, name it. This guy knows. He's my guy. I message at 4 a.m. and I'm like, should I get this? And he's always like, it's 4 a.m. Make a life choice. Don't do it.
Well, I love visiting Off the Rail. I do so far too frequently.
Too frequently.
Some might say, but no, we are happy to have them on board. Here at
Absolutely.
Intergalactic.
Super happy. I'm really appreciative of the good folks over there that decided to take a chance on us. Thanks for
Pick up some of their beer.
That's right.
Buy their beer.
That's right. They took a chance on us. You should take a chance on them. We'd love that, and we'd appreciate it. So thank you very much for your sponsorship. Of course, as always, we're also sponsored by the fine folks at Floathouse. Floathouse.ca is where you want to go right now if you want to get your premier, top-tier isolation experience. That's the best way I could put it to you. It's like a spa for your mind, guys. It's so amazing. You get your own private, clean, just I don't know. It's hard to kind of pitch this to someone if it's so easy. Like in my head, it's such an easy pitch because it's such a beautiful, relaxing experience. Like, you know, it's not like I'm trying to tell people like, their businesses, they break arms. Like, it's pretty easy. Like it's such a comforting, relaxing way to unwind. It's so cool. You climb into the tank and you just unlock the mysteries of the world, the universe. Man, that's a hard step away from breaking your arm, right? That's pretty
far. Yes.
It's pretty good. But no, seriously though, everyone here is like really talented, really smart. They all have a lot of good information that you can access online if you're wondering what an isolation tank is and how it can benefit you. You can do some research. It's very easy. Tons of videos out there, tons of resources. And most importantly, the people here will be glad to point you in the right direction. So make sure you go ahead and check out floathouse.ca and use our podcast promo code now. Go to floathouse.ca and book your next float and get 20% off by using our podcast promo code IIPodcast. That's lowercase I podcast. Ooh, what a mouthful. Maka.
Hello.
Who is our guest this week?
Yes.
I think I have a goatee hair in my mouth and I don't like it.
Brilliant start.
To my immediate right, I have our ever-present carnivorous co-host Michael Saavedra, and on our boards tonight we have the I've said this before, but it makes sense. Corporeal C-Mart. Look that up, boys and girls. You might be impressed.
Like actually here.
And our guest to our immediate front. This guy is one of my best friends for a long time. He's been on the podcast before. Friend of the show. He's very talented. His new album is out right now. The Cheeky EP, produced by Ian Hughes. He's a talented writer, great performer all around. We all love him, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for Maka.
Hello.
Yo. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
God damn. I'm gonna just wash down.
Still this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wash down this hair
You know
with
those things called beard trimmers? You know, you can
that's what I.
just
That's
trim your upper lip. You know?
Maka.
I
That's
thought you had a lot of time with all this laundry you were doing.
Yeah,
hours.
I was like, yeah, I gotta do a bunch of laundry. Maka, that beard trimmer is the reason why there's hair there in the first place. I don't know why. Here, I'll just take a sip of the finest of Off the Rail Brewing Company, and we'll get rid of this right away. Off the rail. Amazing.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you. Maka, how are you
Yes.
doing?
I'm good.
Thanks for doing this on short notice. We had another guest book a film spot. So I was like, you know what? Let's bump Mac up a few weeks. You're supposed to come in a few weeks, so we appreciate you coming in now. How's it going, man? We mentioned earlier the Cheeky EP is out now, available online. People can check it out. It's getting lots of great reviews and feedback. Of course, the major story behind this being that you're being dubbed the pioneer of Canadian West Coast grime. Now, what does that mean to you? How can we explain this to people if they don't know what type of music this is? Please.
Well, it's an interesting statement when it comes down to it, because it was never something I was expecting in the long run or the short run, whatever you want to say. It's a new genre to Canadian ears, right? North American ears. It's UK based music.
What are some prominent grime artists that we can point to that people can kind of get a feel for this genre?
UK wise, from the UK.
Yeah, just in
Well,
general.
yeah, I think everybody knows Skepta already. He's been
Skepta.
he's been doing some North American moves.
a lot of his
and tours.
OVO, his OVO connections and stuff. Yeah,
I wouldn't say that's anything to be known by or be anything to be proud
true.
of.
I
but
just try to bridge the knowledge between like how
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
would
if
have
you-
heard of him.
I'd like to keep Drake's name out of this, to be honest with you. This is
Okay.
a whole new era of music, I feel, and a new start and new fresh take on what
Yeah.
we can create with this culture, right? So
I almost-
keeping all that old stuff out is
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
I almost feel like he's only involved at all because of that, because it is a new era and he's trying to
Of course it
maintain
is,
a
yeah.
grip on.
A lot of these guys
Bad.
probably see that their time will soon come to an end, and no doubt, everyone's does from time to time, and some guys will try to leech on to other things to keep their name involved in what's going on in the world, right?
Right. Who's your favorite grime artist? Someone you look up to? Like, you don't have to fanboy them, but someone you think that they're doing it in a way that you appreciate.
Well, there's obviously Dizzy, but Dizzy doesn't really make traditional grime too much anymore.
Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah, Dizzy Rascal. He's not really traditional grime as much as he used to be. You know, you'd say he's probably one of the founding fathers of grime. I would say when you listen to like Fix Up, Look Sharp, Boy in the Corner. You know, he was young and doing it.
classic
then.
albums.
Oh, classic stuff. But I'd definitely say probably Wiley and Kano, and
I love Wiley, man.
Chips on the Up.
Do you like Wretch 32?
Nothing I listen to on a regular basis.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I feel like if he's on a song, I don't skip it, but I don't go checking for it either. That kind of thing. I was wondering, just based on a lot of the genre conversation we're having right now, what are some other genres you listen to when you're not listening to, say, music you're working on or otherwise? Like
I listen to pop music, top 40 music,
pop music.
quite often actually.
It's pretty well discussed on this podcast, and we can throw back to this conversation a little bit, but we've discussed several times how important it is for artists out there that are growing and trying to learn the craft of songwriting, for you to learn and just respect the resources that it takes to create popular music. Pop music is some of the hardest music you can write. The simplicity of it is where the difficulty lies, and that's where a lot of people don't understand.
I think so. Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree on that. I would say the simplicity of it is what obviously makes it pop music, but at the same time, I find there's such a underlining, what do you say? There's an underlining way to writing pop hooks and even pop verses and bridges and choruses and so on and so forth. There's a science behind it, and not everyone can do that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of pop artists, obviously, the curtain's been pulled back decades ago, where a lot of pop artists don't write their own music, but the people behind those songs are, the formulas that they use to put it together are, nothing short of brilliant. It's amazing.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty spectacular. Who within pop are you checking out then?
Big fan of Ellie Goulding.
Ellie Goulding.
A huge fan of Ellie Goulding.
I've actually,
I
now
love
that you
music.
say that, I remember you hitting me up not too long ago, and it was pretty late night, not like a 4 a.m. Saavedra, hey, should I drink this beer kind of call, but it was like, have you checked out Ellie Goulding's album? She is so good. I love her. And I was like, yeah, it's good, man. And then even through text, I could tell a romance was blossoming.
Yeah, she's a babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely a babe.
She is a cutie.
Oh, totally.
Is she's still dating Skrillex?
I wasn't aware that she was in the first place.
I don't know. Is that
Just
hearsay?
making shit up?
Yeah.
You just making shit up.
I was at a music festival and I heard some dude told me. I believe it. Something I overheard. Yeah. By the way, the headline of this is Maka starts rumor about Ellie Goulding and Skrillex. Hilarious.
Career ended.
Yeah. Harvey Levin on TMZ will be all over this.
Heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Friend of the show, Maka, well-known gossiper. Hey,
You know, TMZ will be MAD.
MAD, get mad.
Yeah.
We should talk a little bit about the fact that in the last year, that song, Get Mad, off of Rude Man LP, which I produced, just wanted to throw that up there, produced by Maka, you managed to get
Placement with that.
Yeah, some TV, some television
We
spots.
got it on this show called Ties That Bind with Luke Perry from 902, the original 902.
Yeah, Luke Perry. I even think they marketed one of the episodes because it had like Jason Priestley on it. And so
Is that how they market
they
it?
market it as like
He was
a
also
bit of a
Canadian.
reunion.
It's like, if you ever wanted to see these two actors on screen again, and they did it, yeah. I don't think Tori Spelling made the trip, but the rest of them.
Doesn't she have like 6 kids now or something, or 7?
She has like a quadrillion kids.
She's a lot of kids. A lot of kids and a cheating husband.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's a cheating husband.
More rumors.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alleged.
That ain't no
Alleged.
rumor.
Yeah,
That's true.
alleged.
That's true. Google that. Yeah.
Friend of the show, Maka, well-known gossip spreader. Allegedly, to all those things.
Yeah, it's really important that we say allegedly.
Yeah. What's your favorite Ellie Goulding jam right now?
Right now, she's got so many good ones though.
Does she?
I listen when I listen to her, I'll listen to everything. I won't just stick on one song.
I know all the singles she has, but like something about the fire.
That's Burn.
Is it burn?
That's Burn,
Isn't
yeah.
it fire first though? Then it burns. Because we got that fire, and then
No,
because
and
we
we
go
gotta
to
let it
burn.
burn, yeah,
Of course, I know it really well. But like, yeah, like I know like her singles. Not even really, actually.
You don't like it? You say you don't like it?
No, I said I do know her singles.
Oh, okay.
I don't know her other stuff. Maybe her more fan-connected songs.
Well, Burn's probably that's one
Burn.
of her singles. There's
That-
got
yeah.
She has she probably got like 20,
Maka,
30
that's why
singles.
I know it. But I did
Yeah.
call it Fire, so I don't really.
Yeah, you
know
got
it
that
yet.
wrong.
Yeah, I did.
Pretty close though.
Pretty close, and I had the melody. So fuck off right here. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you what. Yeah, this is going really well. Maka, right now you have this album, Cheeky,
Yeah.
that is just like,
EP.
this EP album. That is, it's just something totally different out there. It's so new in terms of, direction. And it was produced by a gentleman we both know, Ian Hughes, over in the UK. And, you previously collaborated with him on Summer Rain,
Yep.
which also was placed in Ties That Bind, actually, which is crazy.
Some of the actual songs.
Yeah,
Was. Yep.
yeah. So the self-titled song, right? So, I mean, that being said, you've obviously had a good string of success here with Ian. What do you have plans moving forward with him? Like, are you collaborating again in the future? Do you have stuff in the works?
Yeah, I got more stuff in the works
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, I got an entire album right now that I'm pretty much been sitting on for a year. It's not complete, but it's getting there.
Like I saw recently, you were asked by Hip Hop Canada about whether or not you're just going to continue going the EP route. Is that the plan for the next record?
I don't know. I can't give you a straight up answer. I just go with whatever works. I've come to the point in my music career where I'm not planning things out too much anymore. I'm just kind of going with the flow, and if I need to put something out, I'll put something out. I like to have an arsenal of songs ready to go whenever I need something. Boom, put it out.
Get
Boom, put
ready.
it out. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
The
last two-
backlog of stuff, right?
Right. Because
Cheeky was done when I had Moxie. When I put Moxie out, the EP before Cheeky, I had Cheeky done already before when Moxie was done.
before that.
Yeah, I had those both done at the same time.
So that gives you that stockpile you're talking
Exactly.
about.
Yeah. Because I found myself falling behind making music quite often with everyday life at the same time, right? Trying to keep up with everyday life, pay my bills.
Previous to all this, like
yeah,
before
yeah,
Summer Rain.
I would say before the Summer Rain EP, that was like my life at that time.
Because I remember the Rude Man LP being more of like a sprint.
Yeah.
It was way more of a dash.
Yeah.
Because it was like, hey, you have a record? Yeah, check this out. Okay, come here. Okay, and the next day you'd be like, hey, I got the demo. I want to do this. Okay, cool. And then we just kind of craft it together.
Now, I will admit, though, I feel like the stockpiling records isn't always a good thing for quality music, I found as soon as I get the song, get a composition, I want to be able to get that done. I want to make it right there on the spot, because I feel like I've made the best music right on the spot in the moment. So I want to get back into the habit of doing that.
That is the real trick for artists in 2016. The turnaround time from where you can craft an original thought, an idea, and then place it musically in like a physical realm, and then also actually distribute it, digitally or physical, however. That turnaround time between that, sometimes people can miss the boat, people can miss the stylistic quality of like what they're trying to do. Like that, there's a sound to that song we were just talking about that I just butchered with Ellie Goulding, with Burn, right?
Yeah.
Burn. So
Fire.
with fire with
Burn would
Burn.
be the adjective, and then fire would be the noun, right?
I see where you're going. Okay, I
But
see.
you decided to call it the adjective word. Right?
I see where you're going.
Stop thinking noun.
That's a songwriter right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's that focus, right?
But like that sound that she has in that, there's
Yeah.
there's an intrinsic value to that is like, it's almost not quantifiable in terms of it's taste, right? Like the sound, the drums, the rhythm, everything about it reflects an era that is taking place at that particular moment, right? Like there's no like, how many times have you heard a record and you're like, wow, this is amazing, I love this song, this is such a good song, and then you're like, oh, you know what though, this would have been good like 5 years ago, but it's just crazy. I don't know. That's the kind of thing I'm kind of on.
I mean, that's why it's pop music, right? It's trying to
like
you're either going to make the trend or you're
right.
going to be on the trend.
Yeah.
Right?
So my point being that like the turnaround is like such an important aspect in 2016. It's like probably the biggest part of being a relevant artist right now is not just the quality, but how fast you can put it out there, how fast you can feed this like never-ending appetite for
It's
your
momentum,
fans.
right? Keep your momentum.
Momentum.
Keep your name and keep your look and your image in people's faces. They will forget you, right? Because people's attention spans are what, like 8 seconds nowadays?
You're right.
As soon as they hear something, they move on to the next thing. I'm just as guilty as the next person for that.
We had Sean Rammer on the show from EA Sports, and he was telling us that. Do you guys remember this? He was saying he's like, our game, which is like, as large of a title as you can imagine. Like for a sports franchise, it's like it's its 17th, 20th installment or some shit like that. Crazy fucking number of games they've done, and he's like, yeah, we're competing with your cell phone. And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm like, no, you're competing like against like yourself, like Madden, like all the in-house games. And he's like, no. He's like, we're competing with your cell phone. We're competing with you picking up your phone in between like periods, like when you're playing a game, or like whistles in the game, simulated action. He's like, you're checking your text and stuff like that. He's like, that didn't even exist in our games. We talked about that. Like that didn't exist in the first like 15 incarnations of that game, right? Very strange way that things have gone, but like. In music, it's no different. We're competing with your phone. We're competing with, all these different.
Pretty much every form of music.
Yeah, like it's crazy. So how do you keep that? How do you keep people interested and motivated?
Just keep drilling it into their face.
It's just drilling.
I feel like just people are going to ignore you. What do we say all the time? We say,
A little Gandhi.
little Gandhi line, right?
It's like
First they'll ignore you.
first they'll
Then
ignore
they'll
you,
laugh at you.
laugh,
Then they'll fight you. Then you win, right?
then they'll fight you, then you win.
I feel like if you got something that you believe in, obviously believe in what you create, believe in yourself. If you have that and you feel that way about yourself, and you feel like you believe in your own product, just keep putting it out there. Keep putting it out
agree.
there.
You
There's what, 8 billion people in this world?
That's right.
I'm sure there's
Eight?
probably
7. Maybe?
I think we're at 8 or 7 or 8 now. I don't know.
Let's say 7.5.
Let's say 7.5.
Let's split the difference. You and
Google
I.
it.
It's just 500 million people. Who gives a fuck?
Well, it wouldn't surprise
It's just
me.
one America, right?
Anyway, what I'm saying is, just show people you're not going anywhere. I think the strongest thing an artist can have is self-faith, and people will see that in that artist, and they'll believe, and then that gives them something to believe in at the same time.
Contagious.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of people don't believe in themselves. So if they see someone that's doing what they do, and they say, man, that man or that female believe in themselves that much, maybe I can get something from that as well, right? You know?
Well, a lot of your material is like inspirational.
Not all of it, to a degree.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I would say it's just as like a fan and like a
Yeah.
collaborator. I would say like a strong majority of your music is pretty inspirational.
Thank you.
But the vibe behind that, like, do you ever feel drained from being that lyrically, like
Yeah,
having
of
to put
course.
that into music? Like,
Yeah.
it's fatigued?
Yeah, because you shove all your positivity into one thing, and it's like you got to search for more of it. So how am I going to find? So if I've just gutted myself with all the positivity in my life and my good feelings into one, let's say an EP or an album or a song or even the clothing line or anything that has to do with me pushing my career, you gotta rebuild that. You gotta find more of it, and you're constantly searching for more and more of it. So as an artist, I find I get myself to these extreme highs. And it's awesome feeling things are going well. You know, you put out a song, you put out a video, you put out an EP, you put out anything, put out any fucking content, doesn't matter what it is. And you get a good review, you get good hits, you get good likes, whatever the case may be, you get good feedback. You know, you're up so high, you feel good, and then within that 8 seconds of people's attention spans, it's gone. So think how you feel.
Yeah, that's a pretty fleeting.
It hurts. Like it's a
Yeah.
gut-wrenching feeling, right? You know, so it's like, okay, so that's what I mean by you have to keep on putting stuff out, because in the end, I'm almost doing it for myself to keep myself at that high. Keep myself up, because as soon as you come down, it sucks.
I like you talking like this. I like this. That he's like, you're being like very raw about that. I like how
Well,
honest
it's something
you're
I've
being.
actually realized in the past little while too. You know, you need a win from time to time. You need to, you know, to keep your positivity up. But at the same time, I say that you need to keep yourself up, and you need to keep searching for more positivity. But you do have to realize that you're not always going to win. And you're not always going to be around positive people, and you're not always going to be around positive situations, but you can't let those things bring you down, right? You know, you go to work, some dude wants to act like an asshole, you got to brush it off, because you can't let his negativity and his attitude and his shitty life affect your own, when in reality, his has nothing to do with your own. His problems have nothing to do with you. So why would you let them affect you? And if he's really that shitty of a person, that's his own problem. He'll
Yeah.
get bit in the ass
Like
one
in that
day.
scenario, that person has like real no bearing on you.
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
like,
They
yeah,
don't.
they
You
have
know, it's
no
your own
authority.
choice whether you let these things affect you or not, right?
Yeah, man.
So-
that's good advice. It really
It
is.
totally is, and that's even taken me. It took me a long time to figure that out. It's like, you know what? Why am I letting this stuff bug me? Why am I letting these situations affect me? Why am I letting these people bug me? In the end, it's their own problem. In the end, they're the asshole, not me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the asshole if I take what they're giving me and then put it on to other Joe Schmo for no reason. You know, I have no right to do that, so I'll just keep that person out of my face. Another thing too, I'm a strong believer now. Don't put yourself in situations with negative people. You know, if I'm in a room and I hear something or someone's talking to me about something I don't like, I'll walk away. I don't care if you think I'm an asshole for it. I don't want to hear what you have to say, because what you're saying might affect me in a way that it might actually bug me for a couple of days, and I got no time to waste to be in a bad mood.
I hear you.
what I mean?
I do have, for myself, I have to say, because like I agree with you, because we've talked about that several times, where I'm just like, I just don't want to have that kind of energy enter my life, for sure. I appreciate that. I do have to mention though, I've kind of had like a bit of an epiphany in the last month or so. There's a lot of negativity and toxic stuff online right now. Such division, you know.
It's not even right now. It's always been like that.
Oh,
And
always.
It will always be like
always,
that.
but like specifically American elections that are like
the
really
Dakota pipeline.
really that is a very, very.
But did you ever
huge
think,
issue.
though, did you guys ever think that, you know, what we see on, let's say the Dakota pipeline, for example, what we see of that, we're seeing the fighting, they're showing online, let's just say, they're showing us them fighting. They're showing us them fighting back, vice versa. You know, they're showing the negativity. But we're not focusing on who are these idiots who made the decision to put a pipeline under the Missouri River. We're not going back to the root of the problem. All we're focusing on what that decision has created. We're focusing on what's over here, right? So
Yeah.
why don't we go back and say, who's this idiot that made that decision?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
that's
know what I
it.
mean? Oh, 2
That's
plus
like
2 is
getting-
5. Yeah, it sounds great. Good idea. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that, because it's like getting mad at an earthquake rather than getting mad at the tectonic
Exactly.
plates. You
So
know,
what,
just-
what I'm getting at here is that they're
No,
keeping us
seriously,
mad.
it is. I mean, that's obviously like a natural disaster, but like the same idea, like where people are focusing on the result rather
Exactly.
than the cause. Like the
Cause,
root of that
yeah.
is like some greedies motherfuckers. Very greedy.
Yeah, so where are these
motherfuckers.
greedy guys? Why aren't we protesting out front of their homes?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say we. Why aren't these people protesting out their home in front of their homes? You know what I mean? At the same time, yeah, they have to defend the land. Okay, you know
I
what I mean?
can appreciate
yeah.
the in the moment defending it.
Of course, but what I'm trying to say is the root of the problem here. We're not focusing on the root of the issue. Who made the decision?
Because that had to
We don't see anything like that
Yeah.
online, do we? All we see is the fighting. They keep us getting mad and angry, and throw our mental our positive way of thinking about this, or the ways that we could figure it out, by having us focusing on the violence.
Yeah. No, I
So
hear
all
you.
we focus on is the violence, right?
No, I
Am I
hear
making
you.
sense here?
Of course, no, I hear you.
You know?
I think you're onto something there, because the systemic issue is that people are greenlighting decisions. They greenlit this
Yeah.
pipeline,
And they walk away
and they
scot
walk
free.
away.
They
Yeah,
walk
that's right.
away.
And no one
Yeah,
says
and no one
about
says
it.
anything
Yeah.
about that. So then our generation now focuses on the videos we see online. We see the
Right,
fighting.
right.
You know, we see these sheep police officers beating and badgering on these people trying to protect their land. That's rightfully theirs. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's awful.
It's terrible.
it's
it really is.
truly,
And I'm not
like,
going to sit here and say I can
awful.
relate to them, because I honestly can't. But I do have empathy for them, and I do agree with what they're fighting for. You know, but again, we need to go to the root of the problem. Who made this fucking decision?
I mean, okay,
know?
we are a week away.
Because realistically, wait, hold up. Realistically, the Missouri River is the longest running river in North America, right?
Right. From what I understand.
And
Right?
after
Yeah.
all the oil spills and leaks and so on and so forth we've had in the past, let's just say 10 years,
In the Gulf of
does
Mexico.
it really make
yeah.
any logical sense to put a fucking pipeline under the Missouri River?
Never. Like,
It doesn't make any no. It's not. It's like saying 2 + 2 is 5. Like it's that simple of a. It doesn't make any sense.
okay, I'll be the.
No, there's not
I'll
going to be any
I'll-
leaks.
I'll be the.
There's
oil-
not going to
yeah.
be any breaks. No,
Yeah.
we'll be fine. Let's just test it out. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
We'll test it out, see how it goes. So now 20, 30, 50 years from now, the water's fucked.
Yeah. No, I'll be the oil. I'll be the tycoon. But Maka, you don't understand how many jobs this creates. Maka, you don't understand that.
Oh, yeah?
If
Yeah?
we go
Okay.
under the
Yeah.
riverbed,
Yes.
we're gonna save 4% on our bottom line. Do you not appreciate
Well,
how 4%
you
creates
know what?
20
I
jobs?
see where you're coming from, but those jobs aren't going to be. If there's no people, if people are dying from disease and don't have water to drink, then those jobs are pointless.
You know what? You sound like a communist. that's what, honestly, that's how every one of those arguments go. It's like someone comes with like some crazy capitalistic point, and then someone will say like, no, like what good are jobs if the environment is fucked?
We don't.
And then someone will eventually call the other guy a communist tree hugger. And that's the conversation just dies. These like ad hominems destroy
No,
everything
but
about the
realistically,
discussion.
what's a job if there's no people to fill that job?
No, I hear you. I'm right with you.
No, I'm
I-
not saying you're fighting with me on this.
No, I know.
Who are making these decisions? We need this generation of decision makers to die off. Is what we need. We need them like axed ASAP.
That's the only
That's what
way-
we need. You know. And again, that's the only way I feel like to get that point across now and as soon as possible is stop focusing on the violence that's occurring and go back to the root of the fucking problem.
I hear you, man. I think that
This Joe Schmo sitting in his mansion jerking himself off to his billions of dollars because he made that decision and he's getting away with it. He's laughing.
not only is he laughing, but he's also completely safe from all types of public criticism. Like,
Yeah,
how about the
exactly.
fact that we all know about the situation, the protesters, we know both sides, but we don't even know the name of this person.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah, like, what's their name?
That's exactly. We see all this anonymous stuff on Facebook that they can air out all the dirty business about Ashley Madison people, but they can't figure out. I'm not saying that they can't, but we don't see any. We don't see these guys saying, "Hey, this is Joe Schmo who made the decision," or this is the round table of tycoons that made that decision. We don't see anything like that.
But it comes
Why?
down to that 8 seconds again we were talking about before, is that like people don't, like, how many news stories do you click on that aren't like inflammatory or exciting? If I have to hear about like, oh, and this is the process and how we got to the decision of whatever, and it's like not super engaging, people don't click on it.
No, I
So
don't
it's just-
disagree.
it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
of course.
it's
We're
just
focused on-
unfortunate.
We're focusing on, like I said,
it's
the
not even
violence.
like we're being serviced by
you're
media
right.
companies that are servicing what is.
The violence is
Of course.
entertaining, right?
Yeah,
People like
exactly.
to watch the violence. Mainly, not necessarily because they like to see blood and gore, but it's because it's actually shocking, right? They have like I sit there and I watch it. I say, I can't believe I'm actually watching this. You know? And then
Yeah,
you
that's
got-
pretty fucked
It
up.
is. It's
Immediate
crazy.
call to action. Like,
Yeah.
Right when you see it.
Yeah.
Even if you're just glancing through your Facebook and you see that happening,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that immediate like, whoa, I'm opposed to this.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
immediately.
Yeah, any news article that ends in a question mark, I've avoided clicking in the past year. Seriously, because like that, it's basically
Your mouse must be doing well.
It's an
Not clicking
op-ed.
very often.
And you know
It's
what?
an opinion
You know
piece.
what I could say to that C-Mart too is the fact that we don't have enough influential people saying these things. We don't have enough influential people bringing these things to light. You know, and I've always felt like as one of the main things as an artist for myself, why I want to make it like become world famous and known is because I'm going to say some shit. I'm going to say some intelligent stuff. I say some shit. That doesn't sound too intelligent, but you get my drift. That's our lingo.
I'm gonna say shit.
I'm gonna say some shit.
It's like, oh,
I don't know what, but I'm gonna say some shit. But what I'm getting at here is you don't see enough art. You
Friend
don't.
of the show.
You don't see enough artists or celebrities doing a call to action. You know.
Yeah.
And for example, and North Dakota pipeline aside, some recent shootings in Toronto. You know, the gun violence there, and there's been gun violence there going on for a long time. You know, people say, well, Drake's done so much for Toronto. What's he done? What, because you're a rapper, it's not cool to stand up against gun violence?
He made the Toronto Raptors cool.
Yeah. Wicked. Awesome. Basketball team.
He did actually,
Cool.
didn't he? It was like,
They were already cool. He just put his face
Yeah.
along with it. Anyway, but what I'm getting, you see what
you
I'm
don't
getting
feel
at here?
you don't feel like he legitimized a large portion of the
No.
Canadian recording industry?
Not at all. Cardi did. Sean Paul did.
Cardinal.
Sean Claire did. The Rascals did. Swollen
True,
Numbers
but
did.
to this
Those artists
level,
did.
though, to where he's like a
To
thought,
what-
he's a thought leader. Like literally.
How is he a thought leader?
Well, I feel like almost the majority of rappers that are trying to make it outside of Present Company Excluded and like a small handful
Yeah.
of people all try to sound like him. Like that's a major impact in the culture. Like a lot of people.
Because he's a pop star.
Not just because he's a pop star, but because he's changed. What
has he changed? Realistically, what has he changed?
I mean, we've talked about this before, but like in the late '90s.
Yeah, but my opinion is may have changed since then, though.
Right. Yeah. It's in the late '90s, we had the bling era, and it was someone maced the game. Is like what the phrase
Yeah, I
is,
remember
like,
that conversation.
Right?
Yeah,
maced the game.
Drake has came in and draked the game.
And then 50 Cent at the game totally
but
flipped it to hardcore.
What does that have to do with the point I'm making?
Well,
though?
now it's back to like softer Drake stuff. So someone's going to come in and blank the game. Someone's going to.
Of course, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about here.
It does, because
In what sense? Explain to me.
Just that you just said, what has he done for the culture? Like he may not have affected.
he may have came in and draked the game and gave some guys some style to inherit.
Right.
But realistically, what has he done as a public figure for his community, for his city?
I mean,
I feel okay.
couldn't
You know
speak
what?
to
And
that.
this is,
Like, I
and
don't
you know
know.
what? And Drake, you're probably never going to hear this, and I really don't care if you do or you don't. Nothing against you, in the sense of, I'm saying, step your game up as a public figure. Be a voice for the people. And if you want to say you really want to put your city on the map, I say putting your city on the map is bringing your city together, making it a better city. You know what I mean? Making the city buzz about one another, making communities buzz, making businesses flourish, making your sports teams flourish. No doubt Drake, yes, he put his face on the Raptors. What I'm getting at here is he could be saying a lot more and making gang culture and gun violence that is so prevalent in rap music today, he could make that uncool. He could potentially have the power to do that. But do you see him do that? Do you see any other artists do that? No. And it drives me nuts.
I mean, I hear where you're coming from. I do see what you're saying. He hasn't really taken a strong stance on, say, like gun
And I'm not even
violence.
going to just say Drake. I'm going to say when the Game and Snoop went on TV after, I can't remember who it was who got shot. I'm sorry. Another African American in the States.
You know what
Do you remember
year?
that when it was
I do
recent?
remember like
They go up there
out,
looking like
yeah.
gang members, speaking to the media. What impression does that put off to the kids, for one? And two, wait, hold up. The music that they've created. So now the music that you've created that potentially had a very big influence on the gang
Right.
culture and these things that happen within their communities, you had a part in creating. You had a part in fueling. And now you're going to come back around and say this violence has to stop.
I mean,
That's
like,
so
I hear
condescending.
you.
It drives me insane.
I hear you. I think in that particular scenario with the Game Snoop conference, because I only vaguely remember it, but I think in that respect, because they represent two sides of a coin with Crips and Bloods, I think that was more, I don't want to speak to the theatrics of it, but if they had shown up and not maybe represented these colors coming together in that respect, it would have been maybe not as much of an impact. Because like here I am, I can't even really remember. Like I vaguely remember them doing like a joint press conference, But like I don't remember for who or what or why, because that didn't really do anything, really, if you think about it.
No, of course
it didn't.
not.
It had no
Because you know what? Because
impact.
what I just said, it's unbelievable. How can you believe that?
Yeah, it just didn't
How
have
can you
any
have any faith or
impact.
hope in that? When in reality, our generation isn't stupid. Our generation sees these things. They're not dumb. You look at the Facebook comments on these things. People said exactly what I just said. People aren't stupid. They know these things. Maybe they'll, again, back to the attention span, they'll forget about it,
Yeah.
move on. Because it's nothing to remember in the long run anyway.
Do you find it strange that you can have group conversations like we all know each other well in here, like there's the four of us in here, and we can all have a consensus about an idea, or maybe even dissenting opinions, but there's a commonality to the idea that everyone just wants to do their own thing and not be bothered by it, right? Like there's this commonality to it. But do you find it weird that like one-on-one, it's almost always consensus, like almost always, like a one-on-one. I mean, like not anyone else in the room, not like a server walking by in the bar or something like that. I mean, like just one-on-one with someone. You talk to them.
Are you saying that that's what me and you do?
No,
When we
no,
talk? Okay.
no. I think we
Then
have.
I'll have to disagree with that statement.
I think we have many dissenting opinions.
I think we do quite often. Actually.
Yeah, I think it's healthy. What I'm saying is, isn't it weird though that like because you're saying like this generation's smart. I'm like, isn't it strange that like when people are lumped into groups, people are like, oh, millennials are stupid. Generation X is this and that. They have all these like just crazy attacks that they'll throw on people. But when it's a one-on-one,
Because they're numbers. Because it's numbers.
Right, but
Strength in
one-on-one,
numbers.
one-on-one, when you meet someone dumb, like when you meet someone, you're just like,
Yeah.
I just wouldn't trust you around knives, that kind of thing. Like just someone dumb. For me, I've been like limiting those encounters more and more. But when I do meet someone where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I'm trying not to be so judgmental lately, but it's bad, man. It's pretty bad. It can be a pretty bad thing. What do you think?
I don't waste my time with those people anymore.
You don't waste your time.
No.
Well, what I was saying earlier was
Because some of those people are the people you can never get a point across to anyway, or they won't even let you get two
Yeah.
words in.
well, how do you?
So-
But how about this? Like, you can't get a point across to them, but are they just written off forever? Because
No,
my
they're not written off
mentality.
forever. Hey, you know what? Some people are written off forever. Some people just don't want help. Some people just don't want to be saved.
I hear you, man. I'm all about that.
So, you
but-
know, and I'm all for, and again, I'm all for obviously helping people and getting people educated and up to date with what's going on and higher and giving a higher learner. What's the word?
education.
Never mind. So again, some people just don't want help, man. They're right, you're wrong. Plain and simple. I've learned that in the past couple of years. It's not worth exerting your energy to help someone else if they don't want your help.
I hear that. No,
I'll
no,
just
no.
bring you down.
I agree with that. What I'm saying is, I on social media, I wrote this a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I said I'm gonna stop deleting and unfollowing people when I disagree with them. Because I went on a good 6 months where like anytime anyone would say something stupid, I'd be like, done, you're gone, boom, blocked, boom. And I was just doing this so frequently that, you know, it occurred to me at one point, I'm like, man, who do I have left on this list? And then I started going through them and I was like, everyone on this list is just an echo chamber. Like if I said, you know, generic opinion one, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, fuck rights, man. Generic opinion one. It was cooler when I was older, though. Like someone, there's always like this generic vibe that comes with it. But if you have like that one dissenting opinion, it makes you view things a little bit differently. It gives you like a contrasting idea because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it makes you rethink your stance and position, and you go, you know what? I never fucking thought about it like that, and it does make you change things up. So I've actually stopped blocking and unfollowing people. I think it's fucking interesting.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, now I'm into
Honestly,
it.
now I'm like,
I'm
who
so
can I
into it.
antagonize
Yeah.
to get MD to get pissed off?
Yeah, like
block.
because I was going off on fucking neocon conservatives, like all these guys in the Canadian election. I would just jump on boards. You misogynistic, Islamophobic, just transphobic. Fuck you, like just. And I'd be just.
No, you didn't.
Yes, and I would just say such visceral.
Don't even lie. No, you didn't.
Such visceral anger.
He thought it though.
Yeah, he thought it. He didn't say it though.
Such visceral
He
anger
typed
online.
with his unlike button.
It was so bad that I ran into a friend the other day at this going away party, and I hadn't talked to him in like at least 2 years. And he was like, hey, I just want you to know, during the last year's election, he's like, you were my entertainment for a good while. He's like, everything you would post would pop up in my feed.
That's like a loose compliment.
Right, and I was like, oh yeah, that
Real
vitriol, that pure wrath, hate. But like that's the thing. I went from that to like, you know what? I want to learn from these people because like I don't think there's anything to be gained from learning from people that already agree with you, right? Like it's just an echo chamber.
Yeah.
But I want to have like just like creativity. I want like a very healthy, competitive environment that's going to produce the best, right? Like I want like you and I have worked on records before where I'm like, okay, it's just us on the team. We are in a microcosm of that, competing against each other for like, you want the best vocals and I want the best production.
Course, yeah.
Boom, we have this epic
doubt.
fucking album. That's awesome. If we can have that in a conversation about, say, the environment or politics, where like someone's like, you have to imagine just the farthest contrast from your own personal belief. If you can envision like hugging this person and being like, I understand. I don't agree with you, but I understand. If you can get to that point, it's very like liberating. It feels very good to get there. Instead of like, can you believe that piece of shit? Fuck that guy. I can't fucking block, delete this fucking fuck. It just doesn't get you anywhere because then that guy turns around and does the same to you, and it just creates all this division. So when we're talking about like, you know, bettering Toronto or like Vancouver or any of these places, I think a lot of it just starts in our own social circles. Like, how are we going to approach dissent?
I don't disagree with that. But again, in the long run, who has the most power?
Thought leaders, politics,
Celebrities, artists, you know, and I mean by that,
media.
especially nowadays with social media and the way things are marketed to us, is that they have the most, they have the most followers. These people,
They do.
they do, they have the most, they can hit more people than I can hit in a year. They can hit in an hour,
Which is fucked.
Yeah, that's what I mean by that. You know?
Yeah.
And again, it's nothing against the names that I named, but I'm just saying you have the power, you have the opportunity to do something right now, and these guys don't take it. You know what? Even some local guys that have gotten to a certain point from Vancouver, they haven't doing shit. They're not doing shit.
They're doing, relatively well.
They're doing well, but
for their market.
Yeah, of course, for their market,
But
again,
not like that's the thing. Like we talked about goals off air, and like
she's cute.
yeah. And one goal I've discussed with you that I have is like I want to be culturally significant in some aspects, so that like I'm not gonna have kids. What are my kids gonna be like? What is it? Is it gonna be this body of work? Is it gonna be some cultural impact? Like that's a goal, man. Like that's what I want to have some impact on that, and like whether that comes in 20 years or 20 days or 20 seconds, who the fuck knows? But like the reality of it is like
that's the exciting part, though.
That's
right?
exactly
You
it.
don't know when
Like
it's gonna happen.
I'm living on the cusp of that. Where
That diamond could be under your
it.
feet right now, and either it's your decision whether you want to keep digging or walk away now.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I just kind of feel like in some respect, it's like a lot of the stuff that we talk about realistically in the entertainment business doesn't really fucking matter. Like once I wrap my head around that, where I'm like, it's just entertainment. A lot of it doesn't matter. A lot of it is just like squabbling or petty posturing, trying to like get ahead of the other guy. Once I realized that, it's like you can just kind of rise above that. Like you can just kind of like expand your mind beyond it. It doesn't have to be so A-B. It can be like AA. Like it can be like, it can definitely help out. Not that you should stop drinking, Maka, but did you just make an AA joke to Maka?
Are you talking to yourself now?
I did. Yeah.
Inside voice. Inside voice. I was gonna say, are you gonna say? If somebody
Is that your
starts-
inner monologue speaking out?
That's what a float tank with MD is like.
Yeah.
He just starts talking out loud. And it's just like, what the
I was like,
fuck is this?
guys, you know what the mysteries of this universe really are?
Okay, well, and you know what? Back to what you're saying. I don't disagree with what you said. I guess it does come down to the person, what they want
does.
the outcome to be. Yeah. But I think this world would be a better place if everybody thought the way, in the sense of trying to better everybody and themselves at the same time.
It certainly would. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Everyone wants 100 million versus 100 million people to be fed, right?
Well, that's okay. Can you look this up for me? I got Saavedra fucking doing stuff. Can you look up how many followers The Rock has? Please, just look up on Twitter. Look up how many followers he has.
It's no John Cena.
He's no John Cena. I'll tell you that.
Apple dough.
Apple dough. Fuck, hilarious. By the way, Saavedra pointed that out to me, and now every time that song comes on, can't miss it now. He says it right at the beginning, and now we've told you, you'll never be able to unhear it. It's like
Don't say it again because I didn't hear it catch it.
it's like apple dough or something. Like it's like
It says apple dough.
apple dough.
Oh, at the beginning of the Cena song?
10,000. He has 10,000 followers.
That's a fucking lot. You mean this
10
hour?
10.6 million.
10.6 million. Okay, so he doesn't have the most followers.
That's
but-
that's what? That's 1/4 of the Canadian population?
right. Just put that in perspective. okay?
1/4 of the Canadian
All right.
population.
So
bro.
10.6. Let's say, just for benefit of the doubt, let's say 1 million of those are fake. Okay, so he
Look up
says,
Drake. C-Mart, look up Drake.
Wait, look
too.
up Drake. So
I bet you that's more than the entire
right.
population.
So my
population of
point being with The
Canada.
Rock is just like, if he wants to announce that he's doing a film, even if it's straight to fucking DVD,
Yeah.
never at this stage, never. But like, even if he did, the idea behind that being that in one tweet he could blast more ears, eyes, and homes than like a prime time fucking slot for like The Bachelor or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, actually, I don't really know.
See
the
what I'm getting
numbers
at
they do. Yeah, but like
Or
that's an example.
let's say the
show, but,
local
like,
news.
yeah.
CTV News.
34.1 million.
34
and
million.
what, the population of Canada is like 44 million right now?
No,
around there?
Hold on, like 20. No, 30,
No, it's like
30.
between 30 and 40 probably.
Yeah,
Between-
I think it's
between
in
30
the
and 40.
40. Check that too.
But that
I wanna be,
basically-
he's
some
wrong.
stats. We got
He's saying
stats.
20 million.
No,
it's like-
no,
more
not
than
20.
20.
It was 20 million.
I
like,
think it's like 44 million
1970.
right now, the
It's about 4
population.
million.
Yeah, MD's stuck in the 70s when he was born.
I'm gonna say it's about 36 million.
44.
Okay, check this
44.
out. Canada population.
What's on the line here?
Fucking DLW.
You already get free shit anyway.
All the DLW merch on the new line. Hilarious. Maka was a gentleman and didn't say anything. He didn't say like, I want the podcast. I'm like, all right.
I was trying to think of something good.
Just
35 million.
35.
Really?
Yes.
2016?
Which Bob
I
Barker?
don't know when our census was recent.
Yeah.
35,
Actually,
you sure?
Hey, Bob Barker, look that up. That's a difference of 2 million from my answer. That's a
30. Oh, this one said 36.
That's a showcase showdown, and I just
like-
won
I feel like
DLW.
Somehow it's live. That doesn't make any sense. There's no
way it's like
tracking births.
That's
it goes
hilarious.
down.
Well, anyway.
Oh shit.
Anyway, Drake's followers were what?
34.
34.
Yeah, like roughly, right? 30.
I think it's 34.
Something like that. But like,
35.
look at that. That's crazy. So if Drake wants to announce a new album with no promotion, i.e., just he tweets it or something,
Yeah.
it still gets more promotion.
It would probably
than
almost
the-
be better to just do that.
Yeah, but it would get more
Just in the
promotion than the highest promoted Tupac album in 1996. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, or pick a year. It doesn't matter. Like
How many people watch the Super Bowl commercials? What's the stats on that?
that's
It's
crazy. That's like 40,
absurd.
Is it
48 million or some shit like that.
Way
That's
more
A
than
bunch.
More than that?
Way more than that.
I thought the record was like, can you look this up? Can you look
Oh,
this
boy.
up? Here we go. Fact checking. Highest
See,
Super
even
Bowl
the fact
crowd
that
ever.
we can check these facts
This is the
right
most
now.
facts checked per in an episode so far.
This is what C-Mart used to just do on the Boomcast, by the way. This is like we used to
harder
just
now.
we used to talk shit like this and not stop for fact checking, and then he would jump
you
in and
didn't
be
even
like,
ask for it.
"Yeah."
You just started spouting bullshit.
Yeah, I'd look over at the camera, and I'd be like, "Wow, there's like 29 tabs open or something," and he'd be like, "Okay, back to your point 15 minutes ago." He's like, "Turns out Simon and Garfunkel actually did not commit a burglary that night." I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, we didn't even do we talk about
You
that?"
didn't
He's like,
remember
"Yeah,
it.
just some crazy shit." But yeah, like I don't know, like that reach is crazy though, right?
Yeah, it's
You think
nuts,
about that?
man. That's my point. The amount of people that you can influence nowadays, if you're in those positions that some of these celebrities and some of these artists are, is mind-boggling. It's almost the
insane.
entire population of Canada Drake can hit with one tweet or one Instagram photo or
Okay.
one status.
Let's play a game.
Let's
play a game.
Absurd.
If you had, what did Drake have? 35 million?
Over 110 million, by the way,
110.
for viewing the Super Bowl.
Wow, really? 110 million
Whoa.
people watched. That's
Like
the highest Super Bowl?
115. Something.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
Even so, Drake can almost hit half of that.
Right, which means 2 tweets at 2 different peak hours, you might have the same hit.
Exactly.
Kinda. Whereas like that's like a 3-4 hour event, 5 hour event, whatever. Doesn't matter. But like, okay, let's play a game.
It's actually down from last year.
It's down.
Yeah.
Probably because the cable cutters, people
I
are
don't
just
know, but
streaming
it just is
illegally
down.
and stuff.
This was the Panthers.
That's exactly right. Let's play a game. the total followers Drake had was 34 million. We just looked up.
Yes.
So if you had those followers right now, poof, abracadabra, boom.
Yeah.
You have these followers. What do you do with that? Like, first of all, you have to be aware of the power that because like
Exactly. It's a very, very strategic plan. That is for
right.
sure. Yeah.
Because
I'm not saying
do
I
you
would
not
just
feel like at some level you'd be concerned about the lose? Because like here's the thing: a bad day for your follower growth would be like you only gained 1,000 followers that day or something like that, which is still insane.
Yeah.
But you might lose, say, 300,000 because
You said something.
That probably eats away at you on some level. Like
of
I'm
course
trying to
it would, of
expand
course
my
it would.
mind to that. 'Cause,
So
like,
you have to
we
go
don't have
about.
those
You definitely
followers,
have to come up with a strategic plan of how you're gonna what cards you're gonna play. And you definitely have to go about what you're gonna say in the wording that you say it, so you're not alienating anybody, so that you're showing empathy, so that you're not judging, so that you're kind of stating an obvious point that everybody can get on board with. There's quite a bit of things you'd have to take into account.
It's true.
And
Like,
you have to
I
take your time
completely
with it.
agree
I'm not
that.
saying you'd all of a sudden start drilling people with we should do this, we should do that. No. It's not, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what am I saying? I'm saying
You'd have to
use
be-
it where it should
yeah.
be used and use it appropriately.
So if you had those followers, would you speak out about this pipeline situation?
Yeah,
right
you know
now?
what? And the other day, I said what I said earlier online the other day. I said, hey, and I stated the obvious that anyone can get behind. Hey, yeah, is it make any sense to put a pipeline, an oil pipeline under the Missouri River? No, it doesn't.
That was a good point
I
you
don't think
made.
anybody think in this room is going to disagree with that.
That was a good point you made earlier, and I think you made it online as well. It was like, just the thinking behind that doesn't even match.
that's what I'm saying, right? Just the stating the obvious, the thinking behind it. Okay, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And I think nowadays we can figure out different ways to go about that to make that pipeline work and make it not affect anybody. You know what I mean? In that
No, I hear
sense,
you.
the best as we can, especially with the technology we have nowadays. But again, it's just stating the obvious. No one's going to disagree with that statement, I would think.
Well,
People would. That's a given because
That's the
they're doing it. But
Yeah.
the people that are disagreeing with it, I feel aren't these people that are looking for a better future, right? And
No,
when it comes
I
down to it, the
completely-
majority of people looking for a better future, I would hope would outweigh that number of people who aren't.
which is crazy, right? It's one of those weird mysteries of
Again-
life. Because people without power often have opinions on how to run power, and then people with power are like, they're so unrelatable.
Of course. But I think the people still with power right now are not our generation. They're baby boomers. They're old schoolers. They're
Yeah.
a different way of thinking, a different way of life that they're used to. They're not used to what we as the millennials or even the millennials are kind of getting old now. The generations below us now and the generations under their in 40 and under, there's a different way of thinking and a different way of life there now, I feel.
What would
And
you call,
we're not in that position to run.
What would you call the generation after the
Millennials?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? I was thinking about that at work the other day.
Is there a name for that?
I don't know if there is, to be honest
It's
with
still
you.
millennial.
Is it still
Still
millennial?
millennial? They haven't like
I think
capped
there
that?
should be a difference by now. They should be coming up with something
Yeah,
different.
because like I have nieces and nephews that are like, first of all, it's like they woke up in Blade Runner or some shit. Like they have more access
Yeah.
to like things that I can't even comprehend.
I think for like 1992 and up should be something else now.
Really?
Well, the
I
only
think
reason
so.
that it's millennials because it's at the millennium. So we're all millennials.
Yeah. So like
No, I know we are,
2000.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have a nephew that was born 2009,
Yeah.
and in my head I'm like, oh, that was like a couple years ago. But like that was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like in another year it'd be 7. And I'm
Well,
like, I remember when I was 7.
What
Like,
I feel like it's not necessarily what
Yeah, right.
I feel like it's the era that you grew up in, right? Like I was born in '86, so the things that I was exposed to in the early and mid and late '90s, that's kind of like them. I feel those are millennials.
And
You know?
I hear you on that. But like our generation, everyone here in this room, we were all born in a weird cusp of
Yeah.
kind of late Gen X and also early millennials, because we have older siblings. Some of us have older siblings here that are like tech savvy, not in the way that we're tech savvy.
Yeah.
Like they still, they don't type QWERTY keyboard style. They like, one finger
One
poke
finger
kind of
it.
thing.
What
Like
are they German using the different one?
Yeah,
It's still a QWERTY keyboard.
It's still
Yeah.
quality.
It's not the other one.
It's still very
Those
quality.
is good, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not what I meant. But the idea behind that though is like we were on this weird cusp though where we existed before the internet enough to grow up and like have no internet, and then all of a sudden the internet was like, hey, you're teenagers, you guys want to have the internet?
Yeah.
We're like, holy fuck. And now we have this
And
like
download the fuck out of some music.
just watch
Kazat.
JPEG porn. Let's do
6
this.
hours later.
Yeah, sweet. So like that's what I'm saying. Like there's a significant difference between that and my nephew I was mentioning earlier, who was born 8 years after 9/11
With an iPad in
What
his
the
hands.
fuck, dude? I had to have a conversation with him where I was like, wait a minute. Like it was the weirdest thing. I was like, you were born after 9/11. So I was like, so you've always lived in this world. You don't know what it was like before that?
Yeah.
No, I was like, watch Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes. With Wesley Snipes. I'm like, that's what it was like. People
Fugitive
could
with
walk
Harrison
freely.
Ford.
Hey, go say hi to the pilot. Terrorists take over a plane, you shoot it down. It's fucking easy. It's like, but it was weird. I had this like conversation with him where I was like, hey, listen, you didn't always have to take your shoes off in the airport. You didn't always have to do this kind of stuff. And it's weird. Like I almost feel like we've kind of gone a little bit far from it now. I was on a plane last week, and of course, I knew this was going to happen. Of course it was going to happen. I always get randomly fucking tested. Like, hey, you.
I would definitely pull you
They
aside.
always pull me over all the time. All the time.
yeah.
They're like, where you coming from?
Sounds justified.
And I'm like, Ontario. and then they're like, oh yeah? By way of what? And I'm like,
I'm in an airport.
I'm like, another plane? Like, I don't know.
Your mom's house. Like, let
Your
me
mom.
go.
Exactly. We got a 10-6 here. I'm just like, what the fuck? A 10-6. Yeah, like they're kind of eased up on stuff though. But you know what I did notice is on the way there, no one took any shoes off at all or anything. And I was like, of course, I'm not taking my shoes off. That's fucking ridiculous notion. This is stupid security that someone put on for one isolated
A
incident.
lot of these guys
Chicago.
are bored too, right?
Right.
They're gonna just make you do shit for the sake
So
of it.
no one took their shoes off. No one said anything about it. No, everything was fine. Go through, no problem. On the way back though, I noticed like every third person was taking off their shoes, and I'm like, that's conditioning, man. You've been conditioned for the better part of over a decade, more than that, a decade plus of conditioning of like, you have to take your shoes off. Why? You just have to. No, that's fucking dumb. It goes right back
Do
to
you
our
have a
first.
choice?
Yeah, well, it just goes back to our first conversation, which was like, hey, the faceless guy that was like, you know what, it's gonna keep us safer. Make them take their fucking shoes off, and it's just like that doesn't keep us safe. That doesn't keep us safe. The fact that there are air marshals in the sky keeps us safe. The fact that there are people that are actively X-ray screening you as you go through, that keeps you safe. This idea that you can like. I don't know if you guys remember what happened, but the guy that tried to fucking light his shoe on fire ended up getting like just destroyed by like 10 passengers. Like he tried it and they were like, what the fuck? And they like killed him. Not really, but like basically beat the shit out of him. And, very justified in doing so. But the point being is that like a lot of that stuff is just the illusion of security. It's not.
Of course.
It's not real. It's not real. So
They can instill the fear, they'll prevent. They make
Yeah.
it think they're gonna prevent it from happening too, right?
yeah.
They check everything, so don't even bother trying to blow up a plane now, right?
Have you ever been in a close call on a plane? Like
what?
like turbulence, engines,
Turbulence, yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, like
Going to
close.
Kelowna.
Like,
Is that a
Going
close
to-
call, or is that just turbulence? Not like we almost died.
No,
we
no,
almost died.
I didn't almost die. I had I went through some turbulence that actually scared the shit out of me, where I thought I was going down.
that's what I'm saying. Because like
Yeah.
I had my brother on.
Perceived close call.
Yeah,
there we go. That works.
I did an away game back in Ontario last week. So we did a show, just Jordan and myself, my brother Jayme McDonald, and on the show he told me he just came back from Scotland. And he was like, they had to divert his plane to Greenland. They did like an emergency landing. It was
Really, eh?
fucking crazy. And he told me on the show, and he told me way more off air, but I'll just say it now. But he was saying like, he's like, yeah, at one point we just dropped like a fucking ton of, like we just started descending. He's like, and we're right over the ocean. He's like, the thoughts that go through your head are just like, oh my God, like this is how it happens. And he's like, they tried to park us in some place in Greenland. It was like an old abandoned U.S. not abandoned, but like an old U.S. military base or something. So he said as they were like approaching, they don't even know where it is. They're flying blind, no instruments going through. He's like, he's seeing mountains pass by the window, and he's like, oh my God, like just thinking about that movie Alive in the 80s, like, he's just, oh my God. Like, so he's telling me this, and then he admits to me on the show last week, he admits that he's like, I pulled out my phone and I was like, this is Jayme McDonald. Oh, I live here. If anyone gets this message, just let them know. And I was like, oh my God, like that's
You hit send early by accident.
yeah,
Come on, sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, it's
Like,
fine. Everything's fine.
He's going through it though, and like he's going through the motions of like, oh my God, like please tell my loved ones, I did my best, or like what, like some crazy,
I never cared.
Right, some end of life message. Just think about, just if you're listening to this right now, wherever you fuck you are, if you're watching, pull your phone just for 1 second, hold it in your hand, and imagine you had to make that message for a second. Like the mentality of that, like you're committing to that. Like that's no fucking,
I better die.
Fuck, don't let me die in Greenland.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, fuck. In some place I can't even pronounce. Like, it's just some crazy. But like the idea behind that is like he obviously was so committed to it. But then I asked him afterwards. I was like, Jordan, did you keep the video? And he's like, I watched it twice after we finally landed, and he's like, my heart was just racing, and I just deleted it. He's like, I deleted.
Took a video?
Yeah. And he's like, I watched
That's
it.
an artist move. That's a singer. That's a singer move for sure. He's like, I gotta get on video. It's like, okay, what are you doing?
The best part is like, yeah, I watched it twice and then I deleted it, and I was like, I would have fucking paid you money to watch that fucking video. He's like, really? I was like, dude, I was like, you captured true terror. Like, that's crazy. Anyway, like, it turned out fine. It was fine, whatever.
Would ask the flight staff immediately as soon as you start descending and feel like you're gonna die. At least give me a fucking drink before I'm.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna die,
They should be
just
free.
empty out that liquor cabinet.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
go.
his
Let's
party.
do this right now.
If I'm gonna die, fucking give me a drink, please. I mean, fuck.
Let me roll a joint.
Fucking throw a little joint, something. You're fucking dead, Rick. Yeah, man, it's all good. But let me ask you this. Clothing line, you're wearing a new piece right now that I know is not available online yet.
Yeah.
So the clothing line we're talking about is Dressing Life's Wounds. DLW, as it's more affectionately known to the people that rock its brand. It's a lifestyle brand. Let me ask you this.
What's up?
When can people expect to buy new lines? Because I get people hitting me up all the time. DLW sponsored the show for a long time. We're waiting for a new line to put some new ads in. What? But,
I will confidently say March.
March of 2017, folks.
Yes.
That's the best we can
Confidently
hope for.
March.
I think that's an amazing approach. If people want to check out DLW, they can go to dressinglifewounds.bigcartel.com. It's an amazing, formerly streetwear brand, now just a lifestyle brand. It's actually so dope. I personally wear it all the time. I definitely chose not to wear it today on the one day, so you guys didn't think I was pandering. But the fact is, you can watch pretty much any episode of the show, and I'm wearing something from them. So I don't know. I love it a lot. What's one piece you're excited to unleash on the masses for clothing? Because like, it's so popular, man. Like I want people to understand that are watching at home. If you can see this new zipped up hoodie we got on Maka here, it's so dope. But like, what's one piece that you really can't wait to release?
I'm really happy with all of it right now.
All of it?
Yeah, I am. I'm really. I decided to go with this line. I really wanted to make it neutral, where anybody can wear it. It's almost like timeless clothing, where it will never go out of style. Simple colorways, stuff like that. Simple logos, but still catch the eye, and still get the point across. But I just want to make it something that a soccer dad can wear. Straight up. Some people may not agree with that, but it's like I want anybody to be able to wear it.
Because like some people might not be aware, but it started off as like a brand extension of just like artist merch.
Yes.
Like you wanted to just make quality artist merch, because a lot of times people will buy shirts. Like Saavedra, how many times have you gone to a show and you buy a shirt from a band, you like wash it a couple times and you're like, fuck, that's it.
Yeah, it peels apart. It's disgusting.
It's garbage.
Or
Right.
it's just a shitty shirt.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
That's the
C-Mart.
worst part.
Super
Exactly.
scratchy.
C-Mart, same experience, right? Like how many times have you gone to a show? You look at this little bub shirt.
I got a
that's
little bub shirt going on
staying
right now.
strong because it's good quality, obviously.
Yeah, it's great.
But like the
But you get scratchy ones too. I find that's the worst. You get one that's like it's fine for one, and then it's like this is uncomfortable.
material-
It's not even nice
My
to touch
least
for.
favorite is the heavy shirt where
Yeah.
it's like that's just a t-shirt that weighs like
Yeah, it weighs
4 pounds.
Like a
Exactly.
50-50,
Gross.
yeah, like a 50-50 cotton is a little too heavy sometimes in Vancouver.
Yeah, see, that's
I
the
definitely
thing.
appreciate that.
I wanted to make something that people would wear, right? They'll always wear, you know?
Always. And like that's the thing, the timeless point that you touched on really makes sense for the brand because it's dope, man. Like, you know, it's been endorsed previously by like artists such as Mocha Only. It's, you know, it's definitely hit within the festival scene in the first 2 lines that came out. This new line though, I think is going to be a huge step up for the whole brand in general. I'm really excited just to be even semi-associated. I love everything about it. Can't wait to rock the new clothes. March 2017.
Yes.
God damn.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. One more thing. Because right now, if people want to check out your music, how can they do so if they want to do so?
You tell them.
Oh, don't mind if I do. If you want to go to... well, you want to search Mad Mac Music. MADMAKMUSIC.
Yes, correct.
Ooh. And after you have a few drinks, try spelling words out loud when it's on the internet forever. It's a little more challenging.
That one beer kind of made me fudge my words up a little bit.
It's good beer.
Good
Off
beer.
the Rail Brewing Co.
Brewing.
That's right. That's
quickly derails.
Hey, do you feel like
Yeah.
it's because it's checkmate beer, possibly? Just
Checkmate.
wanna throw that out there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's enough of that.
Beer. If I'm not drinking
We'll get you a
heavily,
t-shirt. Don't
if
worry.
I'm not, if I have like one beer, it makes me so raspy. I need to like keep on drinking and drinking and drinking.
You know what I just realized? And this is how good this beer is. This is my first beer in, I'm going to say 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. I haven't had a beer in like 5 weeks. I've just been sticking to the Jacques Daniel.
Jacques.
And sticking to that because, well, it's delicious. But also because I'm trying to lose a little weight. Can't put yourself on camera every week, Maka, for an hour and not notice a little fucking few things you
I
don't
just
like.
don't eat.
That's
Yeah, I just don't eat.
You just go
A lot of
full,
times I'm scared to eat, so I just don't eat.
Yeah, really. You just go full Zoolander.
Straight
fuck
sweating,
it.
straight sweating.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, good segue. Can't forget about this. We got a new video coming out.
Yes.
You
yes.
collaborated with directors Anthony Hacker,
and Marcus Fung.
Marcus Fung.
Yeah.
Great guys, man. I've met them. Super good guys.
Yeah, very good guys. Yeah,
really
good, yeah.
talented young
Yeah.
dudes. And they directed your last video too, right?
Yeah, they did Don't Ask Me as well.
Don't Ask Me off Moxie.
Yeah,
and
off of
then
Moxie.
this new one is called
Sweating off the Cheeky EP.
Off the Cheeky EP.
Yeah.
And now Sweating's already out for the single.
Yeah, so if you want to go listen to it, you can go to my SoundCloud and listen
Right.
to it there again.
I saw it got like pretty good pickup. Did
Yeah,
it get,
we're almost at 15,000 plays on that song.
damn, that's pretty good.
Russia, Mother Russia's playing the Mother
That's-
Russia and Ukraine is playing the
That's
playing
right.
it a lot.
Tweet that.
Good conflict
Rock.
music, maybe.
Yeah, no kidding. Eh? I was like, whoa, yeah, Russia, Ukraine, UK, and the States is
Put
playing.
on that
one.
Maka.
Yeah.
We love him.
Dance music, bro. I love Canadian dance music.
love it.
I love it.
love it.
It's
No,
so
seriously,
good.
Turn it up.
It's just so good. You just like to dance all day. Turn it up.
Russian Tim's really mad at our accents right now.
It's fine.
Awful. It's terrible. But people can look forward to that release when? Pretty soon?
You tell me.
Oh, maybe a week? Maybe a week from today.
I hope a week.
Well, let's not do a week from today. 'cause-
Election day.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of news going on that day. Might get buried. Let's
I
say.
think we're already sweating from that. What's going on with that anyway?
Oh,
so.
let's say 10 days from now.
10
I'll
10
give 'em-
days.
I'll give them 3 days to, you know.
Can't stop sweating.
The world might end in
I was
one
gonna
week.
say, or
Who
it
knows?
could be total
You just
apocalypse.
mean north of the border might end in 1
Yeah,
week.
we might just have a lot of undocumented Americans coming through. That's all. Just let you know. But hey,
Christina Perry, you can stay at my house.
Oh shit!
There you go.
How are you gonna make room for her if Ellie Goulding's at your house?
She's from the UK. She ain't coming here.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
but
could.
Brexit.
yo. That's right,
she
Smart.
might be on her way.
Yeah, dude, she might have took a Freightliner 6
A
weeks ago.
Jesus. A boat?
She's navigating Baffin Island right now. Fuck, she'll get here. Maka, you're a very
Yes.
talented dude.
Thank
If
you.
people want to follow you, how can they follow you? Great. Hey, by the way, Jordan last week made a good point about this.
We need to
but-
come with something a little more exciting. How can they follow you? We need to come with something new.
Well, Jordan last week was like, I said the same thing. I'm like, Jordan, how can they follow you? And before he even answered, I was just like, you can follow him at Jordan on tour. And he's like, wow, you know my handles? And then I was like, yeah. And he was like, Jayme doesn't even use notes or anything. Well, I'll just be like, look at this right now. Cam, do you see any notes?
No.
You can follow Maka on Instagram at Willy Wampa.
Yes.
And you can also follow him on Facebook as William H. Macy. You can tons of followers. No, you can follow Maka, just William Maka on Facebook if you want to connect directly. But that's his private stuff, guys. Don't try and get to him.
Hit me up.
Just go to Maka. Mad Mac Music is the best way to do it. Hit him up straight.
M-A-D-M-A-K, music.
Music.
Yes, which
Boom.
needs to be changed.
You can tell me off air how you think we should improve the show.
Well, we got a list of things we need to do, right?
Oh, here we go.
Dun, 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 dun.
We won't talk about that yet, but we do have some exciting news. We'll have you back on short order to talk about that.
Cool.
But New Year is going to be very fantastic and amazing. Mr. Saavedra, how can people follow you?
Just follow me at the Saavedra on Twitter. That'd be
Shit.
fantastic.
Just so you know, Saavedra, I knew how to follow you already. But
I know you didn't. We do this every week. I'll follow Off the Rail Brewing.
yes, boom.
Instagram, Twitter.
Off the
Facebook.
Rail Brewing, man, big shout outs to these guys taking a chance on us. We appreciate, our sponsors as they grow. You guys are in on the ground floor. How awesome is that? We appreciate it. We're trying to build something special.
Very
here.
thankful.
Very thankful. C-Mart, how can people follow you if they want to?
It's just not a thing.
Attaboy.
Well, that's the best answer we can hope for.
That's not bad.
That's good. If you want to follow the podcast, you can do so by going to Intergalactic Interviews on your iTunes. Please click subscribe. Shoot us a review if you think we deserve it. We'd really appreciate it. Maybe 5 stars. I don't know. Maybe one. Whatever you
Solid
guys.
3.
Maybe a solid 3. Maybe we're a fucking 3-star show.
4.5.
Take your 3-star show and get the fuck out of here, he said to me. Well, that's okay. If you want to give us any kind of review, we'd appreciate it. But if you go to iTunes right now, go to Intergalactic Interviews, you'll find us. We're the only ones. There's no one out there like us. Intergalactic Interviews, we're also available on YouTube and on Stitcher and on SoundCloud. Guys, we love you listening, watching every week, supporting. If you guys want to shoot us an email, give us some feedback, you can do so at
Or questions for MD.
Or questions. Yeah, just straight up questions. Let's do that. Okay, fine.
Ask MD.
Ask MD.
Ask
Okay.
an MD.
Intergalacticinterviews at gmail.com is
New
the
segment.
new seg. We just literally made it up right
Ask
now.
MD.
Ask MD.
I got many. Maybe I'll start sending my own.
Maybe we should all
Let's start anonymous emails and send them in.
let's do it.
You suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck.
Dear Jamie, why do you suck? Times 10.
Yeah.
Times 10. Times 10.
No,
I'm
but seriously,
great.
I
What the
really
fuck?
don't like
I'm
you.
Fuck your entire life. How about that? Wait, maybe we should all just harmonize Ask MD right now, and then that'll be the sample we'll use. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ask MD.
Well, that was pretty good, guys. What can I say? We're gonna fucking sample that, ladies and gentlemen. If
Two
you want to follow
vocalists,
me,
thankfully.
if you want to follow, don't forget to follow Intergalactic Interviews on
Do that.
Instagram.
It's a good
Big time. We love that.
It's a good one.
We love you to help us grow our followers. If you want to follow, if you want to follow myself, you can do so at MD_Boomsday. That's all across the board: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. We're all over the place. And Maka, you're a talented fucking fella.
Thank you.
We love you.
I hope I made sense tonight.
Friend of the show, sir. You'll
Did I do good? Did I do all right?
I think so.
great.
What do you
Yeah.
think? Let's get Saavedra out of between a rating of 1 and 3.
And be truthful.
Yeah.
I can take it.
A 1 and a 3.
Yeah, between 1 and 3, how well
I
did
guess
he
a
do?
3 for fuck's sake.
No range at all.
nailed it.
You're like, I don't know, like a 2. I'm like,
Still pretty high.
2/3 good. Good. Pretty good.
Solid 66.
Fucking rights. Next week, guys, I don't know who we have on off the top of my head, but it's going to be an amazing show. Of course, it's Hulk Hogan. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. We love you very much. We'll see you all next
Cheers. Thank you.
week. Bye.
Ciao.
Yeah, we did it.